Howdy. This is that Fallout 4 video I was talking about. The challenge in of itself doesn't seem all that complicated. Like, ooh, what are you gonna do? Beat me to death? Yes. The answer is yes. I will, in fact, be demolishing the Commonwealth with nothing but my bare hands. So without any more delay, can you beat Fallout 4 with only your fists? In truth, the video that inspired me to make this was a video called The Skull Dragon, I believe, where some dude modded in the face data for Kazuma Kiryu into Fallout 4. Honestly, the main thing about that video that made me do this was trying to make, him in Fallout 4. It didn't really work. So he's not Kazuma Kiryu, he's John Yakuza, the sole surviving dragon of Sanctuary or something like that. I have no clue. The special stats I had seem self-explanatory to me. 8 in strength or better punches, endurance of 6 for survivability, charisma at 1 because even in this game, charisma is a stupid, dumb stat that no one should pick. Cringe. 1 in intelligence and a 5 in luck because I felt like being an idiot that day, and an agility for 6 for reasons unknown. I should have put it in endurance. You'll know why. You'll know why. Now that we're signed up to survive the nuclear apocalypse that is set to happen in about 1 minute, we sit down and watch TV and ignore Haruka screaming in the other room. Honestly, she looks really weird. I don't think that's Haruka. Then the bombs are dropped and we run for the vault, which is conveniently placed 2 feet away from us. Seriously, honestly, this opening is kind of stupid. Unreasonably convenient. Not really complaining though. This is a Bethesda game. You're not supposed to think about it. They don't really think themselves that much. Then we should really change our name to John Frozen Dinner, and then recreate that one Jabbo joke he does all the time.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael,
After pressing defrost on my microwave, we can once again call ourselves John Yakuza, and then immediately almost fail the challenge by picking up the baton. Why did I do it? I don't know. Like, I don't usually do it. Things just happen. Reloading and not picking up the baton, things go as usual. Actually better than usual because I can actually kill the rad roaches, which, is substandard for most Fallout 4 runs. After escaping the vault, I immediately start searching for a tan suit. The reason for this is that I had also decided to only be able to wear suits, though for like a solid 2 seconds I wore a pink dress, and then I picked up the I'm Special book and increased my strength to 10. Why does it say 8 earlier? I had it at 9. We're gonna ignore that. Now the plan, that is to go, grab the strength bobblehead, which raises your character's strength to a permanent 11. Why does it do that? I don't know. Technically, I could have raised it to 12 permanently, but I didn't feel like doing that. Not so soon after, I didn't find a suit, but at least it isn't, that Goromi fit. So then I went to Concord for the sole reason of ignoring Preston's pleas for help. Main reason, looking for that tan suit still. Though I had found a black one, which I wore until I found a tan one. We're actually doing a Minutemen playthrough here, so I couldn't ignore him forever. So I pulverized him right into the fusion core, go meet Preston, and proceed to die due to me not having power armor on. Next time I actually use the tank that is provided to you for the low price of getting tetanus, because Lord knows that he is not up to date in his freaking vaccinations. I mean, that's what 200 years in the joint does to you, man. Fucking pussy. So this time with the power armor, I still get killed. Next time around, I ran straight for him, and this time got the kill. Though despite my best efforts, I couldn't start the first Deathclaw space program. It truly is awful. Should have gone to space. Made back up in Preston. He thanks me for everything, like I just finished a side story. Though this isn't a side, this is a main, which we'll be doing for like half the run. Then for like half an hour struggling with trying to keep the controls, I usually play the game on my PS5 because it was completely free. I have the platinum on that thing too. By the way, I don't even know how I got it because, anyway, it just popped for me. I literally didn't even have any settlements. It just popped, and I don't know why. It was just stupid. I did try hooking up my PlayStation 4 controller, but that didn't work right, so eventually I just made my keyboard like the New Vegas controls. However, I don't immediately do the Minutemen quest. I go to Diamond City because I want my tan suit. And to find Haruka too, I guess. But mainly the drip. On the way there, I almost got to Diamond City, but got completely annihilated right as I got there. So I had to make the journey again. This time, though, I run into Wolfgang, and let's just say he doesn't last very long. Surprisingly enough, find a tan suit. It's absolutely disgusting, but it's better than what we had. After actually making it to Diamond City this time, I just stand in the background and stare Piper like a fucking freak. After getting into the city, I check the stores for non-dirty suits because dry cleaning is a lost art in this world, I guess. After leaving the clothing store, I see a man get gang executed, and then I have an interview with Miss Metal Pipe sound effect. Then I go talk to Valentine's secretary and learn that he has gone missing, but he could do that at some point, I guess. I proceeded to not do that and just kind of wander for like 20 minutes. Enter Shuber's comics for some bizarre reason. Die several times in there. No reason for me to there. I just kind of ran away after dying 17-ish times. Then I collect the intelligence bobblehead for some reason, probably due to me wanting to get more from my stim packs. I'm pretty sure that was the reason. Again, I recorded this like a month ago. I then wander with purpose over to Good Neighbor, beat Finn to death without purpose, and then meet me. Holy crap. Actually, for context, if you didn't know, the person who voices Kiryu Kazuma, Takiya Kuroda, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm wrong, correct me. He voices Hancock in the Japanese dub of Fallout 4, which is just fucking hilarious. Then I head for the Old North Church, due to me needing that ballistic weave key. So after talking to the numbnuts, I go to meet with the only enjoyable person to be around in the railroad. As per usual, this quest kind of blows. Then again, the only time I ever do this quest is because I want the ballistic weave, meaning I don't really have any energy resistance. Like, it doesn't really help, like, at all. So whenever I do this section, I died dozens of times. So after dealing with him dying to the first room 7 times, I decided to end my suffering early and just go save Nick. Which, as it turns out, isn't much better. Who could have guessed? Also, sweaty, unwashed tan suit versus literal machine gun fire is a pretty one-sided battle. So I continue to die a lot. It is, oh my god, kill me now. In real life, honestly, they were doing it in the game. I want to die, this sucks. As that is what's happening on my screen. So they did listen, I guess. The worst part was that for the first few deaths, it sends me back to the beginning, right side of the vault. Yuck. Even after finding Dino, or whatever the hell his name is, it doesn't let up. I'm almost certain this is my first time dying to him, period. It was just awful. So freeing Nick from this hellhole, he is actually quite helpful. And I don't die again until I meet Skinny Malone, which the first time I got massacred, befitting Mr. Valentine was there. A second time there, I convinced Darla to leave this relationship so I get to leave without dying. Now it's time to die even more under the Dippin' Donuts. So all in all, I spent a whole 2 hours of this, just going through the hellhole located under the Slocum Joes. And that was about 1/8 of the run, meaning this run would have been substantially faster if I hadn't decided to make this run about John fucking Yakuza, which is his middle name, obviously. Clearly, it's John F. Yakuza. So grabbing the prototype, I still have more pain and suffering to go through for the ballistic weave. So I have to complete Butcher's Bill, which took me another 2 hours. So saying that I spent 1/8 of the run doing something that was completely optional was a complete and utter lie. It was actually a whole quarter of the run that was spent on me getting this weave. Cringe. This run has broken me. And, I recorded most of this run right before the BB gun run, so let's just say I was not having a good time. The only way I could have had an even more of a misery speed run was if I played Dead Money in that same 2-week span, and Dead Money would have been the fucking highlight of it, because at least I've been playing, it has some good aspects to it, and I would be playing my favorite game of all time. And so finally, I got the ballistic weave and no longer have to suffer just as much. I still do, but it's not as bad. By the way, I got a striped clean suit at some point instead of the clean tan one. When that was, I don't know. But I put the ballistic weave on that one. So then I have the interview with Nick Valentine about Haruka and get told that the person who took her was Majimo's, the most important part of a healthy breakfast. Now with 10 times less eye patches, pirates, and cross-dressing. Actually, I don't know about that last one, so we're gonna break into this guy's house. He says no, so I asked the secretary, which I failed the easier speech check, and passed the harder one somehow. I hate this. I hate it. honestly. You know, yeah, again, Fallout 4 and Fallout 3's decision to make it random was stupid. I'm gonna be real, it was dumb. Something about my face was the reason she said. I don't know how you address this. So along with Nicholas, I check the man's house for dresses. I find none, so I can confirm that the cereal is cross-dressing free. Though I do find some cigars along with a bunch of food I steal from the poor guy's house. I mean, his name is a cereal. Like, it's only expected. So to go find him, we gotta shove the cigar into this poor dog's face, and off we go to find the cereal man. And on the way there, we fight a bear, a man named Gruel in a chef's hat, another bear, and finally arrive at Fort Hagen. Inside the building, it kind of sucked, as most of this run did. Didn't die once, but I sure as hell got closed, mainly because fighting synths with melee weapons just kind of blows. So after stepping outside, now with brains in my pocket and I'm no closer to finding Haruka, the Brotherhood of Steel show up. I will literally never interact with them, let alone see a single piece of their power armor.
People of the Commonwealth.
素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう
After that, I go to Diamond City for an interview with Nick and Piper at the same time. How fun. So after telling them about my idea to use this funny chunk of brain I picked up for some reason, so at about this point in the story, getting Dangerous Minds is just like a cue for me to go fuck around. It's Pavlovian, which I do, and aside to go break bad. The main reason I did it wasn't for the caps, though it definitely helped. I mainly did it for the drugs, like Unlimited Psycho, Buff Out, Jet, What More Could You Want? Another reason was this quest just felt like a sub-story to me. Like, Disney in the beginning, watching this man get cucked. I even responded with a dialogue option that sounded the most like an interaction in a sub-story. So, anyway, kill the guy, things are going as planned, steal something from the dude he hired me to kill, doesn't care. Steal another thing from the guy who saw me pummeled to death. Decides I'm clearly a bad person, so of course, he decides he could take me. Very obviously he couldn't, so I had to just continue the quest with zero backup. Find out that a washed ballistic weave striped suit versus literal machine gun fire is only slightly less one-sided, mainly because I die a couple times before killing everyone and taking all of the drugs for myself. I don't complete the quest though, as I kind of despise doing it, and I hate this stupid puzzle. Hell, I like the puzzle game, but this shit just sucks ass. Also, for some reason, I was covered in blood the whole time. Kind of made it look like the red undershirt. I just thought it was funny. Go to Good Neighbor, see the memory den, realize that I still don't want to do Dangerous Minds, so I decided to do the other most sub-story quest in this game, Confidence Man. Took a second to actually start the quest, and I don't know why. Play Bethesda games long enough, and you just stop questioning it. Actually, the quest gets weirder somehow when Bull and Gouger just die. Probably my fault for continuing to punch them after they're down, but like, who the hell cares? Vadim isn't happy about it. I don't care. We'll go bowling later, doesn't matter. Then the task is to get the man bitches. So we do that after failing several speech checks like, seriously, this is just a sub-story. Get this random shy NPC to become confident through fighting, getting him a girlfriend, and then saving one of his friends in a perilous situation. This is just a sub-story. Though I don't know why Vadim would be kidnapped, as I killed the people who usually do it. You know, this game is funky sometimes, you just gotta get used to it. Well, now that I'm done goofing off, time to go resume the main quest and complete Dangerous Minds. It's just boring. Like, let me skip this, please, I am begging. I now decide to enact my master plan of getting 11th strength, but due to the rocket launcher gunner's twin, I can't live longer than 2 seconds. Seriously, all of my deaths in this building were because of this bitch. Same with the one in Green Tech, but I died there a lot more than I did here. And then my friends make a guest appearance for all of no seconds because Fallout 4 doesn't like it when I stream it on Discord. So after coming back to that later, I grab the bobblehead and run for my life. After doing that, I decided to do another sub-story and get this man some paint. And then it's off to the glowing sea. The journey was somehow more peaceful than it would to go across Boston. But when I show up, a bed of rad scorpions, that's what's called a group of scorpions are called, decides to attack me and then suddenly disappears. So after asking the children what Virgil is, they tell me and their usefulness is no longer applicable, so I just kill all of them. Though before I committed genocide on these not so peaceful people, I put on a hazmat suit. Why I didn't wear it on the way there, I'll never know. Ask Virgil to help me out and tell me to go to that one green building, and I do, and start suffering part 2, Green Tech bullshit. This sucks. Blows even. Green Tech sucks. It wasn't even the stupid missile gunner like it usually is. I make sure that man dies immediately. It's the run-up where I die so much on the second floor alone. Though after constant pain and suffering, I make it up to the courser, take a bunch of drugs, and beat him to death in the corner. You know, I'm pretty good at that as it turns out. I swear, the courser has killed me less time than this building has. It's absurd. So after grabbing the chip out of his head, making the second brain I have kept in my pockets, I ask the railroad to cover the chip for me while I stand there in my blood-covered suit. This is foreshadowing for about 2 seconds in the future when I beat Tinker Tom to death. Try to kill the rest of the railroad, fail, then run for my life. Tinker Tom is usually my first kill due to me just hating the guy. He's just really annoying. I also find the railroad incredibly annoying, just period. Except Deacon. He's cool. Taking the data to Virgil, he gives me the plans he wrote in crayon on one of those kids' menus you get at chain restaurants. And finally, it's time to join the Minutemen. They will only build a teleporter for me if I go and help that settlement they told me about around 9.5 hours ago. So I go free 10 times left from the harassment from these raiders from a whole 2.5 hour walk away. Seems like quite a lot for what is literally 2 people, a shack, and a small farm that grows plants that canonically taste like ketchup and cardboard. It goes as it usually does, die a couple times, and as I usually do this run. Then finally, make the teleporter. Really, it wasn't that hard, only it took about 100 metal, clearly. I should have equipped the frickin'... what's it called? I forgot, I don't care. Now in the Institute, I take several elevators up and down just to then see Haruka. Yeah, I don't think that's Haruka. I try to adopt the child, as is the Yakuza way, but he just screams for his father. I mean, it makes sense. I'm still coated in blood. Then this weird old dude shows up, he puts the child into a coma, so obviously the only solution is to beat him to death. Now exiled from the Institute, I start working for the Minutemen. The specific settlements don't really matter, as they are incredibly samey, though I do help out Grey Garden for what that's worth. After doing that, the castle is fully open to being conquered, and these lobsters kind of suck. You know, most of this one kind of sucked. Though the first ones are fine, and it's the Queen I'm worried about. This encounter had a lot of me dying in it. Actually, I just had to eat my own weight in scrambled eggs. The main help against the Queen was this random Minuteman, opener full of lead, shouted to him, and Preston, who had picked a flamethrower up somewhere, and was making cooked crab. Honestly, from now on, I'm just gonna give Preston a flamethrower every single run. If I interact with him for more than 2 seconds, honestly, I would, you know, honestly, this section would be so bad if its acid wasn't melting my skin and turning me into Two-Face. Then go and help out more settlements, which was so absolutely boring. The only highlight of the entire thing is that I beat an alien to death in a singular punch, which was apparently like the funniest thing ever to Mr. Yakuza. Also, tangent, the settlements is the Blood Bug Horror House, because I despise blood bugs because of 2 main reasons. One, I'm terrified of bugs, especially the ones that fly. Main reason I dread fighting any entities, which is the main reason I've only ever dealt with the one in Fallout 3. But blood bugs give me dread because they are physically unavoidable. Now that would be fine if they didn't have an attack that was a literal jump scare, which makes me pause the game every half the time it happens for a solid 5 minutes. Now we're done with that, as the man on the radio interrupting my lo-fi colonial beats to declare independence to, and called me back to the castle. The reason for this was an elderly woman who screamed at me for no reason. So I started a fight with her, one, as is expected against a senior. Then she told me the reason why they were trying to break into this place in the first place. And as it turns out, I died. Who could have guessed? I really forgot how much endurance you need for these kinds of things. Though I do the classic and get blown up by a mine, which is always fun. Though what finally did him in, though, was taking all of the drugs in inventory and getting him stuck in a corner, as this is just the best way to deal with any threat in the Fallout game. Steal this man's clothes and go build artillery pieces for some reason. We don't use it against the Institute, so I don't know why we do it. Though I do blow up this random section of the ground just to see if the mortar I just built works or not, which it does. Good, I guess. Don't doubt Soul Survivor's ability to make shit, Preston. Like, if you let this man loose and loads, he would make a nuclear reactor with, like, bananas as fuel or something. Like, that ×3 malt go crazy. About now is when I stopped recording this video to record the beating on video, as I thought I needed to go to a free settlement, which as it turns out I didn't actually need to, and I hate doing settlements, so I just went straight to Preston and started the invasion versus the castle. It didn't go too well. I just needed to grab some stim packs, though, as is the story of my life. Now that this is almost over, I'm just gonna run through this, though while this plays in the background, I just want to rant for a second. Why did the laser turrets shred me? like, the Institute rifle is actively worse than the 3-4 blasters, so why did the turrets do like 7 trillion more damage in comparison? Though this section kind of sucked because it didn't have enough stim packs, you know, as I said. Other than that, though, complete breeze. So I put the detonator on the reactor, adopt not Haruka because Lord knows we need more kids. Love the Institute, and answer the question, yes, you can be followed for with only your fists. Ugh, this run sucked. Ugh, it was my fault for not putting enough points in the runs, I know, but it still sucked. Ugh, it was awful. Yucky. Anyway. New video should be out soon. I might actually be getting a schedule soon. I know, impossible. Anyway. Repeal the Third Amendment. See ya.